Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up. I made this cute fun fold card with products from Stampin' Up. I sell these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I have the free detailed directions for this project on my website. You'll see where to find all of that at the end of this video, so don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. For this project, I'm using the Waves of the Ocean collection. This is a collection that's on special right now. It started out at the 1st of March. Waves of Inspiration and the Coordinating Waves dies will be in the upcoming annual catalog that comes out at the beginning of May. Love this. My husband's a surfer, and so this was, of course, a no-brainer for me to get. So in the suite, you get these two. There is also the foil. The foil will, I believe, will only be available during this early release special. I don't believe this will be in the annual catalog. There's also the Waves of Ocean Designer Series paper. My sampler has just such a tiny little piece, and this Designer Series paper is really lovely. So I'm going to show you all the different sides of it. For this project, I wanted to use one of the sides that features Coastal Cabana. So on this side, this piece would be great. And then one of the sides that's mostly the dark blue and white. So really any of these papers would be just fine. Also in the collection are these Rhinestone Waves Basic Jewels. But as far as I know, the only thing that are promised to continue in the annual catalog are the Waves dies and the Waves of Inspiration stamp set. I am using a greeting, and the happy birthday from here would work. I also believe You're So Totally Awesome or Your Strength is an Inspiration would also fit in here, but I wanted to use from Best Year, I wanted to use Happy Birthday to You. My ink is Coastal Cabana and the Night of Navy. I am using the Banners Pick-a-Punch, but you could also trim those by hand. Of course, a medium envelope. My card base is Night of Navy, and this is 8.5 by 4 1/4, scored at 5.5. I have a piece of basic white. I have some basic white. I'm going to use the adhesive sheet, and that and the blue Designer Series paper. These are both cut at 5.5 by 2.5. These are actually a piece that's 5.5 by 4, and I cut it in half. This piece is almost my usual layer. Usually it's 5 1/4 by 4, but this is the 5.5. Then I have two pieces of the Coastal Cabana foil. This piece is almost 5. It's 4 7/8 by 2 3/4. This piece is 1 1/4 by 3 1/4. I'm also going to be using my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss to cut out the dies. It's a large die, but it still fits in here. I am using the Stamparatus. This is a large stamp. So if you don't have a Stamparatus, you can actually just put it on the table and stamp upside down. You can use the large F block, but I find the Stamparatus is the easiest way to work this. I thought something was missing. I have a piece of basic white. This piece is 7.5 by 2.5. I have scored this at 4 3/4. So I'm going to take that piece of designer series paper and the adhesive sheet, and I'm going to put the adhesive sheet on the back. This adhesive sheet has slits in it, but it's the other side that we want to remove. So I'm going to pull this back, and I'm going to lay this out here and lay it along here, and then remove the slits. So I've got the adhesive on the back there, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this. The mini Stamparatus comes with all the plates you need. It comes with the #1 platform. These are the #2 platforms, or clear plates. The #3 is for the embossing folders, the standard embossing folders, and the #4 that goes with the 3D embossing folders. The directions say to use the #1 platform, but I'm actually going to use the #3 platform and 2 cutting plates. There are quite a few dies in here. We've got 2 waves dies, and you could use either one with this project. You can use these together to stack them or use either one separately. There are also some clouds, and then this piece gives kind of the shadow puppiness to the clouds. This one goes with that one. There's 2 seagulls and a skinny label and a thick label. We're going to use the thicker label. And I am going to use this die, but again, you could use either one, either of the big wave dies. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and I'm going to decide whether I want mostly blue or mostly white. I think for this card I want the mostly blue, and so on this part will be whiter. So I'm just setting that down on there and covering it up and rolling it through. And with that gray platform, it starts into the machine a little bit easier, I think. You'll have lots of confetti, of course. I also want to cut out the large label, so again I'm using the #3 platform, my cut up plate, the smaller foil piece, and roll that through. Okay, so I've got my die pieces cut out, my card base. I want to stamp this layer now. So I have stamped on here, so I know where the ink is going to be, and I want to put this so that it stamps this whole piece. But strangely, I'm putting the fold on this side. I'm going to put a stamp pad underneath, or you can put a case underneath, and opening up my ink pad and inking this up. I did refill this, so I hope it's not too juicy. Let's see. Oops, I've got my, so I had my magnet, so let me put my magnet over here. using Gidget's Gadget so I can get good even pressure. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, let's assemble this. I'm putting these back together. So I want one piece here. So this is going on the inside with about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Put this one on here. And you will not really see it matching up. So if you get your pieces twisted funny, that's totally fine. And let me turn it this way just to be sure I get even here. There you go. And then I'm going to put this piece on, and I'm going to center it like so. Before I put that on, I want to put my sticker on it. I'm glad I spotted that. So I want to pull this piece in. And so now's when those separate pieces come in very helpful, especially on this detailed piece. So I'm going to start by putting this side on because I want to get this in the corner. Once you have that off, if you don't worry about where the rest of it's going, just start with this corner and then work your way along the wave. And this part's going to be going off the back of the card, so I don't even care about what that looks like. Okay, now I can put this adhesive on. And I want to center this. I've got my finger, I'm putting my finger underneath so I can kind of see where I'm going with it. I want to have a fairly large border around here because this piece is going underneath and adding another layer. So I'm pushing that foil up against the crease. Okay. I have another piece of white that I'm going to put here. This is where you're going to be doing your signing your card. And so I want to match it on this side. Put my border in there like that. So this covers up my end. With the Night of Navy ink, I'm going to stamp the greeting, and that's going to go right in the middle of this piece. Oh, and that's terrible. Let me try again. Much better. I want to add a few seagulls up in here. I want to punch this in with the flags. At this doesn't quite fit into this piece, but so I want to center it as close as I can get and punch. And repeat on this side, centering it as close as I can. And again, you could snip those by hand if you want. This piece gets laced up through one end and down through the other, and center the greeting. We are going to put this label right in the middle, but we do not want to adhere this down to the card. So put it upside down and center it. And put a dimensional here. And a dimensional here. I forgot, and I actually glued it down here, so that's an oopsie for sure. So with one on either side, there we go. Much better. A little sparkle, a little surprise, a place to write, and one more little bit of glitz. We'll put on some of these Rhinestone Waves Jewels, and really any of these colors would be beautiful. So I'll let you decide which colors you are going to use. I think I'll use the Night of Navy ones. And we'll put those up here. And that's it. A little sparkle and something from each element of this collection. Here is the web address for this project, where you'll find the free directions and links for the products I used. You will be able to remove products you don't need or add more products. I have lots of resources on my website. Most of them are free. It's easy to miss some of those resources or to get lost exploring. Let me take you on a quick tour. Just under the banner image are 6 links. Under Shop, you'll find links to the products from Bev, shopping strategies, my frequent shopping points, and a sampling from the clearance rack. Under Inspiration, you can link to scroll all of my projects since 2011. The products may be retired, but you may be inspired by a layout, color combination, or a technique. I have the basics, where I've written about stamps, ink and paper, cutting, adhesives, and my favorite tools. You'll find a link to Techie Tips and an easy link back to my latest post. Click on Getting Organized, and you'll find some of my resources for stamp case slips, product labels, large labels for designer series paper, and more. Case inserts for dies, embellishments, and anything I think might fit in a stamp case, including ink refills. You'll also find color tools and charts, a practically free stamp pad storage solution, tabs and a quick reference for the annual catalog, and plans for toolkits. I have a video of my craft wall and more. Click on Evernote Current Products and you can learn how to share my notebook. This notebook has a note for every current product from Stampin' Up! It allows you to search by color, image, product type, word, phrase, or event, and more. I include French, German, and Dutch names and numbers when available, and the prices for all the markets. Evernote synchronizes on your phone, tablet, and or your desktop or laptop computer. So you can look through the Stampin' Up! Catalog from anywhere, anytime. You can copy my notes for the products you own so you can find just what you're looking for. When products retire, I move them to the Retired Products Notebook, which I also share, and I host a notebook for Paper Pumpkin. Click on Sip Together and then let's stamp to come stamp with me or join my Sip Together team. There's also a link to learn a bit about me. The sitemap will help you navigate all these links from one page. And there are quick links along the side of my page. Shop Now takes you to my online store at Stampin' Up. You'll see the current host code. It would be a great help to me if you use that if you are ordering less than $150. You can click on the current catalogs to page through them online. And I've got a link to a color lab to get color combinations. And then there are my links to my 5 most recent posts. Thank you very much for stopping by and hope to see you soon.